Hey y'all, it's Dawn, and I'm so glad you're back. I've got another fun, budget-friendly DIY video for you today. I used 6 Dollar Tree wood blocks, a ruler, and a pencil. I found the center of each block by placing the ruler from corner to corner and placing a light mark with the pencil. Once all 6 blocks were marked, I used my drill and a large drill bit to drill a hole through each of the blocks. I placed a scrap piece of wood under the block so my drill bit wouldn't drill into my desk. I used a finger sander and sanded each of the blocks. I wanted to remove all the little spurs after I drilled the holes. I painted each of the blocks with Waverly ink chalk paint. Once the blocks were dry, I placed a piece of tape at the end of some twine. I did this so the twine would be easier to string through the blocks. I began by stringing one 25mm bead onto the twine, then a block 2mm beads, and I continued this pattern until I reached the end. I tied the ends of the twine so the beads and blocks would stay on, leaving a little space so the twine could move. Using my Cricut and some tan vinyl, I cut out the word family and applied the vinyl to the blocks. I applied a layer of satin Mod Podge to the blocks to seal and protect them. This is the Kirkland's image that I was duping. And this is mine. I think it turned out perfect, and it cost me $6 compared to $25. And who doesn't like to save money? I had these thrifted letters in my stash and purchased a pack of these adorable cow heads from Amazon. I wanted to recreate a Wayfair sign. I painted the H with Folk Art Java chalk paint, making sure I got all the sides. I didn't want any of the MDF board showing. I moved the H out of the way to let it dry and painted both the E and the cow with Waverly white chalk paint. Moved them out of the way to dry and painted the M with Folk Art Aqua acrylic paint. I wanted to give the letters a little more character, so I dry brushed the H with Waverly white, the E and the cow with Folk Art Java, and finally the M with Folk Art Java. Now to put the sign together. I used craft sticks and cut them down so they wouldn't be seen. I hot glued them to hold the letters together. I also hot glued the cow to the H and the M. I was hoping the sign would stand on its own, but it just wasn't wide enough. So I hot glued a couple of tumbling tower blocks on the back. And oh my God, can we all say so stinking cute? The Wayfair home sign is on sale for $53. Mine didn't cost me a thing since everything I used was already in my stash. In my opinion, free beats $53. And honestly, I think mine is so much cuter. Let me know what you think in the comments. I found this large wood tag in my stash that I had picked up a while back at Goodwill for $4. It was adorable just the way it was, but like always, I wanted to give it my touch and create something beautiful. I knew I wanted to reuse the rope, so I untied and removed it. I gave the sign 2 coats of Waverly Mineral Chalk Paint. And guys, I have fallen in love with this Chalk Couture stencil, and I've used it on several pieces already. I used the stencil and folk art design cream to apply the pattern to the tag. At first, I was going to add a cute phrase, but when I saw how amazing this turned out, I decided not to. I love applying stencils to projects. I find it so relaxing. And this folk art stencil cream is amazing. It goes on perfectly. I used my Cricut weeding tool to remove the paste from between the wood. I wanted the lines to be as crisp as possible. And then dried the cream with my heat gun. Once I had dried it with my heat gun, I used a small piece of 220 grit sandpaper to remove more of the paste from between the slats. After everything was cleaned up, I applied a layer of Jolie finishing wax to protect and seal the tag. And then reattach the rope. This oversized tag turned out so stinking cute. And have I mentioned how much I love this stencil? Let me know what you think in the comments. Today's video is part of the So You Think You Can Craft collab hosted by Melissa and co-hosted by the Grace Life DIY. The theme this month is wood. Check out the playlist for some amazing wood DIYs. You'll find the link in the description. Not lying, I have to say I simply love how this DIY turned out. I glued together 6 Dollar Tree pallets using Dollar Tree wood glue and hot glue. I used the wood glue for a permanent hold and the hot glue for an immediate hold. I cleaned up any of the glue that seeped out with a box knife and a paper towel. I wanted my surface to be as smooth and flat as possible. I stained the entire palette with a gel stain. I picked this jar of gel stain up a while back at Ollie's for $4. At $4, I figured I'd give it a try. I've never used gel stain before, but I have to say I love this stuff. It doesn't have the smelly smells that regular stain has, and it comes in a variety of colors. I made sure I got the stain between the cracks in the palette also. And as you can see, this is an extremely messy process. So I would suggest wearing gloves and also placing something under your piece before staining it so you don't get stain all over your work surface. Once the stain had dried, I cut down a couple of leather straps from a roll I had gotten from Amazon about a year ago. You'll find it in my Amazon store. I'm so glad I decided to go through my stash. I am finding all kinds of amazing things I had forgotten I had. And I'm making room for more stuff. I stapled the straps to the pallet and hot glued some silver thumbtacks to cover the staples. Next, I hot glued some of these square beads to the bottom. I decided to place the beads on each of the pallets so the tray wouldn't droop over time. And just look at how adorable. I just wish I wouldn't have gotten the glue on the top, but I can cover it up with decor. And it's so sturdy and high-end looking. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please take a second to like this video and leave me a comment. This really helps my channel to grow so others just like yourself can find me. If you just found me, I hope you will join our little family by hitting the subscribe button. If you are already part of the family, thank you so much for your love and support. Y'all are the absolute best. Check out my new Amazon store for craft supply and farmhouse home decor recommendations. All the products I use from Amazon in my videos can be found there. Until next time, happy crafting!